Hello everyone, welcome to Raaga 3, the Carnatic Music Gateway. As we are heading into the 9th episode of this podcast today, let us begin with a beautiful quote by Aldous Huxley. There are things known and there are things unknown, and in between are the doors of perception. As we all know, learning is a process that needs to be incorporated every single day. Learning can be anything, starting from enhancing skills to retuning our thought process. When we know a few things, we tend to think that we know a lot, but when we learn a lot, we realize we know only a few. Every situation we face should not drain, rather mentally stimulate us to move forward. As Aldous Huxley mentioned, it is the perception and attitude that matters, whether we are going to keep ourselves in the dark or to push ourselves towards the light. When it comes to skills, we tell people when we are good at it, but others tell us when we are incredible at it. So, instead of seeking validation, learn a new thing every single day to challenge your mind every second towards the unknown. Learning can be from reading, listening to a good podcast, healthy conversations, the introspection that stimulates the mind to get better. That's how you create the future. With that quote, we begin the 9th episode with a magnificent composition of Mutthuswami Dikshitar, Sangha, Chakra, Gadha, Paanim, Aham, Vande, in Raaga Purna chandrika, set to Rupaka Tala, which is a tala of 6 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Rupaka Tala, a tala of 6 beats. This composition is on the deity Lord Venkateshwara of Tirumala, Tirupati. Lord Venkateshwara, also called Lord Balaji, is a form of Lord Mahavishnu, who is believed to have been born to safeguard mankind from the problems of Kali Yuga. The significance and the glorification of the deity and this temple have been mentioned predominantly in Garuda Purana, Varaha Purana, and Venkateshwara Mahatmyam. The story of the origin of this magnificent temple is described in the Varaha Purana. According to this Purana, Lord Varaha, who is the 3rd avatar of Lord Mahavishnu, manifested in the temple tank of the present Tirupati temple, which is the Pushkarani tank. It was said that Varaha avatar was originated when Lord Narayana decided to save the earth by bringing up the earth from Patal by defeating the demon Hiranyaksha. When everything was burnt to ashes in the Pralaya Kalpa due to a raging fire, huge clouds were formed by furiously blowing the wind by Vayu. Due to this, there was severe rain and earth submerged the Patal and remained there for 1,000 years. Brahma and other celestial bodies, along with the sages, chanted the mantras from the Vedas to re-establish earth. Varaha, impressed by the deepest bhakti, requested Brahma to start the creation of the universe. He also wished to reside on earth to save mankind from all the troubles and asked his vehicle Garuda to bring a massive hill with all the precious gems and stones called Kridachala from his abode Vaikunta. Garuda obeyed his instructions and brought the hill and placed it on the sacred spot chosen by Varaha, which is the eastern side of Pushkarani. As requested by Brahma, Varaha rested on the sacred spot of Venkatadri with Bhuma Devi, who is an incarnation of goddess Mahalakshmi, to protect mankind from all the troubles of Kali Yuga and bless them with boons. At the onset of Kali Yuga, Lord Narayana went to his abode Vaikunta from Venkatadri. As Brahma was disappointed with Lord's departure, he asked Narada to persuade him to return to Venkatadri. Narada came in the bank of the river Ganga and saw that many scholarly sages were performing a holy sacrifice. He noticed that the sages were clueless about whom to dedicate the fruits of the holy sacrifice. The sage Bhrigu took the responsibility to identify who among the Trinity is the Supreme God, Lord Brahma, Lord Mahavishnu and Lord Shiva to offer the fruit of the yajna. Firstly, sage Bhrigu went to Lord Brahma in the Satyaloka, where he was reading the 4 Vedas along with chanting the name of Lord Narayana, and did not see Bhrigu's arrival. Bhrigu, infuriated by Brahma's neglect, left Satyaloka and headed to Kailasha, the abode of Lord Shiva. Sage Bhrigu went to Kailasha to meet Lord Shiva and got infuriated as Shiva also neglected his arrival as he was in deep meditation. Finally, Bhrigu went to Vaikunta, which is the abode of Lord Narayana, where Lord and Goddess Mahalakshmi were resting on Adisesha and neglected the arrival of Bhrigu. As he got offended, Bhrigu, also known for uncontrolled anger, kicked Lord Narayana's chest where Goddess Mahalakshmi resides. To Bhrigu's surprise, instead of getting angry, Lord Mahavishnu massaged Bhrigu's foot and inquired whether he got injured for stabbing his hard chest. Bhrigu, who got extremely happy with Lord Narayana's reaction, advised other rishis to offer the fruit of yajna, as Lord Narayana is the supreme god among the 3 divinities. Goddess Mahalakshmi got furious on Bhrigu for disrespecting her by kicking the Lord's chest where she resides, and also got furious with Lord Mahavishnu for his calm behavior instead of punishing sage Bhrigu for his cruel activity. Due to this, she left Lord Narayana from Vaikunta and resided in Karavipur, presently known as Kolhapur, to start her penance. Lord Mahavishnu left Vaikunta to go in search of Goddess Mahalakshmi, as he was unable to bear the solitude after her departure. Unable to find Goddess Mahalakshmi in Boloka, Lord Narayana rested in Venkatadri on an anthill under a tamarind tree beside the present Pushkarini tank. Pitying over Lord Narayana's condition, Brahma and Shiva decided to serve him by becoming a cow and a calf in disguise. Meanwhile, the sun god informed Goddess Mahalakshmi and asked her to be a cattle caretaker and also to sell the cow and a calf to the Chola king. The king sent the cow and the herd of other cattle to graze on Venkatadri. Since it was a holy cow, it discovered the anthill where Lord Mahavishnu rested. It emptied its udder with milk to feed the Lord. In due course of time, the king noticed that the cow was not yielding any milk and fired the cowherd for not looking after the cows properly. The cowherd tried to investigate the reason, followed the cow, and discovered that it emptied its udder on the anthill. Out of rage, the cowherd tried to blow an axe to cut the cow's head when Lord Mahavishnu raised from the anthill to save the innocent cow and received the blow. The cowherd died out of shock by seeing Lord Narayana bleeding. The cow with bloodstains returned to the king, and the king followed the cow to the place where this incident took place and saw the cowherd lying dead. While the king was wondering about the incident, Lord Vishnu raised from the anthill and cursed the king that he would be a demon in his next birth for the defect of his servant. Impetrated by the king pleading for mercy, the Lord said that his sin would end when he was embellished with a crown by Akasha Raja after the Lord gets married to Padmavati. As blessed by Lord Narayana, the Chola king was reborn as Akasha Raja, who was upset as he had no children. One day, as he was preparing for the yaga, he found a baby on a lotus and adopted her as he had no children. He named her Padmavati, also called Alarmail Mangai. Lord Narayana, who was reincarnated as Srinivasa, was the son of Vakula Devi, who was Yashoda in her previous birth. Yashoda was upset as she could not witness the wedding of Lord Krishna with Rukmini, due to which Krishna said that he would be her son in the next birth and she would be the reason for his marriage with Padmavati. Sri Padmavati grew into a beautiful woman in due course of time, and Narada, who appeared before her, foretold that she was born to get married to Lord Narayana by reading her palm. Once, Lord Shiva was chasing a wild elephant which led him into the garden where Padmavati and her friends were playing. Attracted to Padmavati, Lord Srinivasa told about his love for Padmavati to his mother Bakula Devi and narrated about the past life and the boon given to her when she was the foster mother of Krishna as Yashoda. Bakula Devi went to approach King Akasha Raja with a marriage proposal between Srinivasa and Padmavati. When Akasha Raja did not accept the proposal initially, Bakula narrated the entire story of previous birth and how the king had to get rid of his curse for the flaw of his servant. The king happily agreed to the proposal and summoned Brihaspati to invite the celestials for the wedding of Srinivasa and Padmavati. In the Purana, it is mentioned that the Lord had to take an enormous loan from Kubera for meeting the expenses of the marriage and also promised to repay the lump sum amount at the end of Kali Yuga. After the wedding of the divine couple, Goddess Mahalakshmi from Kolhapur, who was shocked to know about the marriage, came to meet the Lord in disbelief. When Goddess Mahalakshmi and Padmavati encountered about his remarriage, the Lord turned into a granite idol. Brahma and Shiva clarified that the purpose behind all the complex situation was to protect mankind from the effects of Kali Yuga and that the Lord decided to reside in Venkatadri. Goddess Lakshmi and Padmavati turned into stone idols as they wished to be with their Lord forever, where Lakshmi rested on the left side of Perumal's heart and Padmavati on the right. Coming to the Raga, Purna Chandrika is considered to be the Janya of Shankara Bharnam, which is the 29th Melakarta of the Bhana Chakra. The convenient scale is Sari Gama Pada Pasa Sani Pa Mari Gamari Sa. The placement is Shadjam, Chaturshruti Rishabham, Antaragantaram, Shuddha Madhyamam, Panchamam, Chaturshruti Dhaivatam in the ascending scale with the exclusion of Dhaivatam and inclusion of Kakali Nishadam in the descending scale. Let's explore the Kriti. Tada na na re re na 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 Shankha Chakra Gadha Paanim Aham Vande Shri Shankha Chakra Gadha Paanim Aham Vande Shri Shankha Chakra Gadha Paanim Aham Vande Shri Shanganadaka Kaustubhadarinam Vande Shri Shankha Chakra Gadha Paanim Aham Vande Shri Shanganadaka Kaustubhadarinam Vande Shri Shankha Chakra Gadha Paanim Aham Vande Charanam Padmavati Ramanam Pankeruha Charanam Padmavati Ramanam Pankeruha
चरणं पद्मावते रमणं पङ्केरुह चरणं पद्मावते रमणं सङ्कटापहरणं सदा भक्तभरणं सङ्कटापहरणं सदा भक्तभरणं कुङ्कुमपङ्किलगात्रं पङ्कजविशालनेत्रं शङ्करसुनुतिपात्रं वेङ्कटवरदक्षेत्रं शङ्खचक्रगदापाणिमहं वन्दे कुङ्कुमपङ्किलगात्रं पङ्कजविशालनेत्रं शङ्करसुनुतिपात्रं वेङ्कटवरदक्षेत्रं शङ्खचक्रगदापाणिमहं वन्दे श्रीशाङ्कनेदककौस्तुभधारिणं वन्दे श्रीशङ्खचक्रगदापाणिमहं वन्दे गजेन्द्रसंरक्षणं गरुडवाहवीचक्षणं गजेन्द्रसंरक्षणं गरुडवाहवीचक्षणं अजेन्द्रादिविलक्षणम् अमृतसारभक्षणम् अजेन्द्रादिविलक्षणम् अमृतसारभक्षणम् अजामीला प्रभृत्यानेक दासालिसन्तरणम् अजामीला प्रभृत्यानेक दासालिसन्तरणं भजे पूर्णचन्द्रिकाग गुरुगुहादकरणं भजे पूर्णचन्द्रिकाग गुरुगुहादकरणं कुजादि ग्रहविहितं विरजनदीतटस्थितं कुजादि ग्रहविहितं विरजनदीतटस्थितं सजादीयादिरहितं निजानन्दबोधहितं शङ्खचक्र गदापाणिमहं वन्दे कुजादि ग्रहविहितं विरजनदीतटस्थितं सजादीयादिरहितं निजानन्दबोधहितं शङ्खचक्रगदापाणिमहं वन्दे श्रीशाङ्कनेदककौस्तुभधारिणं वन्दे श्रीशङ्खचक्रगदापाणिमहं वन्दे
Let's explore the meaning of the composition. Pallavi. Shankha Chakra Gadha Paanim Aham Vande Shri Sharga Nandaka Kaustubadharinam Vande. Meaning, I worship and salute the Lord of Venkatadri who holds the Shanga, the conch, the Sudarshana Chakra and the Kajal. He who was also Lord Rama in his previous birth holds the bow and arrow called the Sharga and Nandaka and also the gem called Kaustuba. I worship him. Anupallavi Panke Ruha Charanam Padmavati Ramanam Sankatapaharanam Sadha Bhakta Bharanam. Lord Venkateshwara, who has lotus-like feet and also the consort of Padmavati, protects his devotees from the troubles of Kali Yuga and removes all their pains and sufferings. Kunkuma Pankila Ghatram Pankaja Vishala Netram Shankara Sannuti Patram Venkata Varada Kshetram. Lord Balaji, whose body is coated with saffron paste and has large eyes like that of lotus petals, is respected and worshipped by Lord Shiva and offers boons to all his devotees from the Venkatadri hill. Charanam Gajendra Samrakshanam Garudavaha Vichakshanam Ajendradi Vilakshanam Amritasara Bhakshanam. Meaning, he who protected the elephant Gajendra from the clutch of a crocodile has Garuda as his vehicle. He is worshipped and admired by Brahma, Indra and all the celestial bodies consume the quintessence of the nectar. Gajendra Moksha is one of the Puranic stories from 8th Skanda of Bhagavata Purana. There was an elephant called Gajendra who was a king called Indradyuma in his previous birth, lived in a forest created by Varuna. Since the elephant was a great devotee of Lord Narayana, he came to a river in the forest to pick the lotus flowers as offerings to the Lord. A crocodile in the river caught Gajendra's leg and the elephant tried to get rid of the clutch. The elephant cried out loud and called the name of Mahavishnu to save him. Lord Narayana appeared before the elephant and killed the crocodile with his Sudarshana Chakra to save Gajendra. Gajendra was a king named Indradyuma who was a great devotee of Lord Mahavishnu in his previous birth. Since he insulted and disrespected sage Agastya, Lord Narayana cursed him to reborn as an elephant in his previous birth. Mahavishnu instructed him and informed him that Indradyuma would attain moksha if he surrenders to Lord Narayana, leaving away all his pride. So, in this birth, when Gajendra was caught by the crocodile, he surrendered to the Lord by chanting a hymn which is now famously referred to as Gajendra Stuti. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Bhashantaye. Ajamila Prabhrityaneka Dasali Santaranam Bhaje Purna Chandrikanga Guru Guhanta Karanam. Lord Venkateshwara helps all his devotees to cross the ocean of rebirth and samsara like how he helped a devotee called Ajamila. I worship the Lord with limbs radiating like a full moon, and he is the maternal uncle of Guru Guha. The word Purna Chandrika dually refers to the full moon and also the name of the raga, which is called Raaga Mudra. Kujadi Graha Vihitam Viraja Nadi Tatastitam Sajatiyadi Rahitam Nijananda Bodha Hitam. He is the one who ordained Kuja or the Angaraka, as Kuja is considered to be the son of Lord Mahavishnu and Bhuma Devi. Venkateshwara resides on the banks of the Viraja river, which is the river flowing in the Vaikunta. He helps and pours love to everyone irrespective of caste and gender, and also revealed his true form to Arjuna. Such a wonderful composition, isn't it? This composition is considered to be one of the Vibhakti Kriti composed by Mutthuswami Dikshitar. There are lots of pasurams on Lord Venkateshwara written by the Alvars. Alvars are considered to be the 12 intense devotees of Lord Mahavishnu, and they were the Tamil saint poets who were influential in promoting the epics we have today, namely Ramayana and Mahabharata. The works of these great Alvars are compiled as Nalayara Divya Prabandham, having 4000 verses covering all the 108 Divya Desams. Out of the 12 Alvars, Tirumangai Alvar is said to be the most prominent one among all the Alvars, as he alone had composed more than 1000 verses, of which Periya Tirumozhi alone has 1084 verses. The verses from 1018 to 1021 are composed on Lord Venkateshwara, the Lord of Seven Hills, compiled as Tirupati Ezhumalayan Periya Tirumozhi. In these verses, Tirupati is referred to as Thiruvenkadam. I would like to present one verse from these 4 verses.
Konkalanda malar kurunda Oshita kovalan yembiran Konkalanda malar kurunda Oshita kovalan yembiran Shangu tangu tadankadu Tuyil konda tamarai kanninan Konkalanda malar kurundam Oshita kovalan yembiran Shangu tangu tadankadu Tuyil konda tamarai kanninan Pongu pullinai vai pilalda Purana tannida Pongu நீர் செங்கையில் திளைக்கும் சுனை திருவேங்கடம் நடை நெஞ்சமே பொங்கு புள்ளினை வாய் பிளந்த புராண தம்மிட பொங்கு நீர் செங்கையில் திளைக்கும் சுனை திருவேங்கடம் மடை நெஞ்சமே திருவேங்கடம் மடை நெஞ்சமே திருவேங்கடம் மடை நெஞ்சமே
The meaning of the Periya Tirumozhi is the Lord, whose eyes are like lotus petals, with his Shanga, the conch, and Chakra reclined on Adisesha on the ocean after killing the demon who appeared as Kurundai tree filled with flowers that spreads the fragrance. Bakasura, who was sent by Kamsa to kill the Perumal, appeared as a crane, was killed by him by tearing the beaks of the crane. He resides in the tanks of Pushkarini with fountains breeding the red fishes. I worship the Lord who resides in Tirupati. May the mind seek the Lord of Thiruvenkadam. The purpose of marriage between Padmavati and Srinivasa has a Puranic association with Ramayana. As Lakshmi and Padmavati encountered the Lord on his remarriage, Brahma and Shiva explained to them the reason for such a complex episode. Vedavati, who is the granddaughter of Brihaspati, resided in the forest in an ashram. Once Ravana tried to kidnap her by tempting her, Vedavati got furious and cursed Ravana that she would bring about his death. Due to this, she tried to sacrifice herself in Agni, but Agni Deva rescued her and took her to his wife and asked her to take care of Vedavati. When Ravana tried to kidnap Sita in the absence of Rama and Lakshmana, the Agni Deva offered Vedavati as Sita to Ravana and took real Sita to his wife Swaha Devi and asked her to protect Sita. After Lord Rama won over the battle by killing Ravana, during the Agni Pariksha, Vedavati entered the Agni as Rama rejected her. Agni offered real Sita, upon which Sita explained the entire story to Rama, stating that it was Vedavati who suffered all the tortures of Ravana at Lanka and also asked him to accept her as his wife. Rama declined and stated that he would be reborn as Srinivasa in his next birth and would marry Vedavati, who would be reborn as Padmavati. With such an amazing Puranic story, we come to the end of the 9th episode. Stay tuned to Ragatri, the Carnatic Music Gateway. This is Jay Shri signing off. Meet you all in the next episode. Until then, goodbye.